Hi there. This video is going to look at integers, adding and subtracting integers, and then also look at using the order of operations to solve problems involving integers. When we add and subtract integers, especially when we're dealing with negative numbers, it's good to think about a number line. And with adding and subtracting, we're basically jumping up and down the number line. So let's have a look at a few examples. So this first example here, 11 minus 8. Well, just from your earlier years studying maths, we can easily do that, which is just 3. But if we think about what that means on a number line, if I start at 11, which is here, and I'm going to subtract 8. Now subtracting means that we're actually getting less, so we're becoming more negative when we subtract. So 11 minus 8 looks like this. Let's have a look at the next one here, 2 minus 6. So let's start at 2, which is here. We're going to subtract 6, again subtracting. We're going to jump to the left of 2, and we're jumping 6 spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we end up here at negative 4. So the answer is negative 4. So 2 minus 6, we're getting more negative, becoming less. Okay, the next example, we've got negative 4 minus 4. Negative 5 minus 4. So we're going to start at negative 5 on the number line, which is here. So negative 5 minus 4, again subtracting, we're going to head off in that direction, and we're subtracting 4, so we're jumping down 4 spots. So we're going to end up at negative 9. So hopefully you can see that it's really good to have a number line so that we can see what we're doing when we're adding and subtracting. Okay, the next one, negative 1 plus negative 8. So if we start at negative 1, which is here, we're going to, this time we're adding. So when we see the addition symbol, it actually means we're going to end up heading off this way. So negative 1 plus, and then I go to my second number. That second number is actually negative 8. So although I sort of start off heading off to the right in terms of adding, that negative sign there in front of the 8 causes me to change direction and head off down that way. So head off towards more negative numbers. So this becomes negative 1 plus negative 8 means I'm going to head off in this direction. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So the answer here is negative 9. So another way you could think of it is if you have negative 1 plus negative 8. These two negative symbols are describing the 1 and the 8. So just add the 1 and 8. I get 9. And the answer is negative 9. So I'm describing what that 9 is. So another example, if I have negative 5 plus negative 13. Add your 5 and your 13, 18, and just add the negative sign there. So another example, negative 6 plus negative 7. We get negative 13. And perhaps one more for good measure. If we've got negative 20 plus, say, negative 42, that would give me negative 62. Okay, let's move on. So 3 plus negative 6. Okay, I'm going to start at 3, which is here. I'm going to add. Now adding means I'm going to head off in this direction, but here I can see that there's a negative sign in front of the 6, so that means I'm going to do a about turn and head off towards more negative numbers. So 3 plus negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I will end up at negative 3. So another way of looking at this equation, 3 plus negative 6 can be written as 3 minus 6. Okay, this next example here, 4 minus negative 5. So on my number line, here is 4. I'm going to subtract negative 5. So remember, subtract means you're kind of going to end up going in this direction, so becoming more negative. But the fact that there is a negative symbol in front of that 5 means you're going to do an about turn and head off in this direction. So you end up being 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you end up with 9. And another way of looking at this is if you subtract a negative number, that's the same as adding its its opposite. Okay, so if you subtract a negative number, that's the same as adding its opposite. So the opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So 4 plus positive 5 is just 9. Okay, let's move on to looking at order of operations with integers. So this is the order of operations. We need to do, first of all, brackets, then exponents, then multiplication and division are equivalent operations, so we do them together, but we do that from left to right. And then finally, addition and subtraction. So that's the fourth operations that we can do, and again from left to right. Okay, so let's have a look at this sum here. There's no brackets, no exponents, so now we're going to look at multiplication and division, which are equivalent operations, and we're going to proceed through this sum by doing the multiplication and division that we come to as we move from the left to the right. So as I'm going through, I can see immediately negative 4 times 3. So I'm going to do that. So I get negative 12 plus, so I don't need to do my addition yet, 24 divided by negative 2. So that sum there is what you need to do. So 24 divided by negative 2 is negative 12. Then I've got minus 8 plus negative 3. So I've dealt with all my multiplication and division. Now I'm just left with subtraction and addition, so we can just proceed through to doing those from left to right. So negative 12 plus negative 12 will give me negative 24. If I just rewrite the rest. Then negative 24 minus 8. So we're going to head off, start at negative 24 on the number line, head off towards the left, towards more negative numbers. So we end up with negative 32 plus negative 3. So then my final answer will be negative 35. Okay, you might want to pause the video at this point and have a go at that second question there. How'd you go with that one? Okay, let's have a look at what we need to do here. So I've got 5 minus negative 6, I'm going to leave that, plus 12. Now, this is where I need to do this one here first. So if I just rewrite the beginning of this sum, plus, so 12 times -4 is -48. I'm just going to rewrite the rest of the sum here. Okay, now I'm going to proceed through again and do that division. So I've got 5 minus -6 plus, so I want to do this sum here. So that part of the sum, -48 divided by 6. So that will give me -8, and then just rewrite the rest. It's 15. So now I'm left with addition and subtraction. So now I can just proceed through from left to right again and do my subtraction and addition. So 5 minus -6, so that turns out to be, so if I've got 5 minus -6, that's the same as 5 plus 6, so I end up with 11 here. So 11 plus -8 minus 15. So 11 plus -8, so 11 plus -8 can be rewritten as 11 minus 8. So that will give me 3. And I'm just left with 3 minus 15. So start at 3 on the number line, subtract 15, move off to the left 15 steps, and you'll end up at -12. Okay, this last one. No brackets, no exponents, but I do have a division here. So if you look at this, -18 divided by 6. So you might have seen it in previous sums. This means the same thing, -18 divided by 6. So I'm going to do this part here first. So just put that -13 in, plus, so -18 divided by 6 gives me -3, times 7 minus -2. Okay, so now I'm going to do this part here. So -3 times 7, and that gives me -21. So just rewriting the rest of the sum around it, minus -2. So now I've just got addition and subtraction. I can go ahead and solve. -13 plus -21, that gives me, so 13 plus 21 is 34, so -34. Subtracting a negative number is the same as adding its opposite. So -34 plus 2, imagine your number line sitting at -34 on the number line, then adding 2 to it. You'll move off 2 steps to the right, so you should end up at -32.